I think it's important to use student discussion in classes to help them fully understand the content. If they just read about it or just hear me talking about it, they might soak in some of it, but until they have to really put it into their own words and thoughts, I don't think they fully grasp it.
And I think that whole concept of just engaging themselves in their own learning. I think the days of the faculty member being the expert coming down from the mountain and sharing all our wisdom are gone, because students have access to information at their fingertips.
Yes.
And so by engaging in those discussions, they can share their experiences with each other, with the faculty. I think it's really positive.
And I think it brings them to questions that I hadn't thought of, and helps them build off one another too. So it helps me better inform them as well. I think online, what has worked best for me is to give them a problem, an application, a case study, something that they have to attach the information to make it meaningful. And that kind of sparks the discussion as far as different ways they went about solving the problem or analyzing the case or looking at things. If you just have them regurgitate what they've read or seen, I don't think it's as valuable.
I would agree. I would say from a faculty member's perspective, the more creative we can be with the way we frame those discussions in an online environment, the more engaged that the students will be. It's really important. If students have the same discussion process every week, they eventually lose interest. And so we have to be creative with that and tie all sorts of different things together. Whether that would maybe doing discussions through video, it'd be doing discussions through the discussion boards, through grouping, all those different types of things can incorporate the importance of the discussion.
I think giving them options is helpful. And again, having them attach that application piece to it. I think helping them think about it in a different way, or how they actually use the information we're talking about, is what I rely on.
And that makes it real for them.
Yeah.
If they have to take the stuff that they're talking about in the discussion board and then back to their world and apply that to their future careers or apply that to the things they're trying to accomplish. But I think another huge hint is for the faculty member to model the behavior they want to occur.
Yep.
If the students are involved in discussion, at whatever level that is, the faculty member needs to be engaged in some form or another, because students, they can figure it out. If they're doing this just to get a grade or get an assignment done or that type of thing, their work will be adequate. But if they know that people are going to read that and be engaged in those conversations and it'll have an impact, I think that changes their whole perspective. You almost want people to want to be engaged and want the discussion.
Yeah.
Again, video discussion, all those different methods really help.
Yep. I encourage disagreements in the discussion. I think that makes for really, again, lively, meaningful discussion. A lot of the prompts that I pose don't have a right or wrong answer, so they're going to disagree. And I think that, again, is good for fueling that discussion and really getting them to think about the information.
Yeah, I teach school finance and school law. So school law, there's going to be disagreements all the time when we have those discussions. We deal with students that are in very small rural Nebraska communities, and then students, international students across. And so when you start talking about things such as school law and topics that lend themselves towards that conflict, I think those discussions are good. But again, we're preparing people for their future lives. And when you go into the workforce, it doesn't matter what industry you're in, there's going to be conflict. So being able to manage that and work through that process is really good. Now, there are going to be times that you have to monitor some of that.
Sure.
You don't want to get it out of control, especially in today's current political climate.
Right.
We have to be careful with some of that type of stuff. But I do think that's something that we have to encourage.